before we start with the regular committees, I'd like to stand for a moment of silence for the community of Parkland, Florida, with the incident that occurred, and for the families that lost their children. So if you take a minute of silence, I'd appreciate it. Thank you.
First one is a conditional use for music practice and education. And I'm going to take you through that particular applicant's case first. The case is number 00418, Thomasina B. Patton, TBP Avon Lake LLC, conditional use for music practice and education. Her request for the property located at 33491 Lake Road is to come to City Council for a request of conditional use and a parking waiver for music practice and education within the existing upstairs. Okay, my paperwork here for those at home say initial area for use and is to be expanded in the future. So they're just talking about originally using this area, is that correct? But they want to have the conditional use for the entire upstairs. And as I zoom in, you'll see that these look like little hotel rooms, because that's what they used to be. Everyone has their own sink and bathroom in there, and there's doors that go in, and they could share maybe, you know, here there might be a double suite. But you can see that there's a lot of different, you know, sinks and bathrooms. But where they're going to start out, it's going to be a little bit larger area. And again, they're saying it's for music practice. Okay, the next item is actually the City of Avon Lake. The City of Avon Lake is requesting that there's approval and recommendation to City Council for the revision to Code Section 1244.02, permitted uses. The code revision is to add the use of child care facility as a permitted accessory use within the code. And when you see an A means that it's a permitted use, and we're simply adding child care facility associated with a permitted or approved conditional use and located in the same building, and it's giving that opportunity to each of these districts, these zoning districts. We're not talking about residential at this point. We're not talking at this point about industrial. We're only talking about business and office.
The charter requires that we review the charter every 5 years by appointing a 9-member citizen commission. The language in Section 72 states that the mayor selects 5 individuals, City Council selects 4. We must have these people in place by March 1st. So the only last chance we have to do this would be next Monday night. So of the 9 people, if we do that, we will have 2 people in Ward 1. We would have 2 people in Ward 2. No, we would have 3 people in Ward 2, and then 2 people in Ward 3 and 2 in Ward 4. So that's as perfect as you can get with the 9 and the 4 wards and so forth. So the requirements are that this body exists for no more than 1 year. So they could theoretically run until the 28th of February of 2019. I would expect that we'll take action and we'll notify these individuals, and we'll try to get an organizational meeting together. A number of years ago, it was changed where whatever the Charter Review Commission comes up must be put on the ballot. In my early term serving on council had the discretion to decide whether or not to put things on the ballot, but it was presented to the voters and that was changed. It isn't likely that we will have much or anything on the November ballot, but it could take place. But I believe the language says that the next election things must be put on the ballot. I was on a Charter Review Commission in 1978 and 1983, and that's what we did. We made the mistake of having 24 proposed changes one time. Guess what happened? They all got voted down. That's just ridiculous. We were very naive to think that residents are going to have time and have the patience to review 24 proposed changes. Some of them could be simple housekeeping kinds of things. our sign ordinance is not in compliance with the state Supreme Court ruling on the length of time you can have signs up and so forth. So that needs to be revised. We have some issues with the Board of Utilities. That may well be discussed or not. And it depends on what the committee wants to do. They are on their own. They will call in people to speak. They will, if you will, call witnesses to give testimony. I don't think that's quite right word, but they will have people make presentations from their particular point of view. It has worked well in the past, and I'm confident that we'll have a body that's knowledgeable and a body that is going to serve the city well. So that.